Before we start debate number 3, we have an admission on record from the British Labour Party MP Debbie Abrahams, who was deported from New Delhi to Dubai for trying to enter India with an invalid visa. Our reporter Anilesh confronted her in this telephonic interview. Listen in and then we'll debate this.
The government here has said that, they informed you well in advance about the status of your visa. Were you not aware that the visa was cancelled?
No, I wasn't. Otherwise, I would have made alternative arrangements.
No, what
was interesting was that no reason was given, and when I said, because there is obviously the option of applying for a visa on arrival, well, if it's not valid now, can I on arrival now? And they said no visa would be being issued.
Just to clarify, there are two things. One is that you were not aware of the cancellation of the visa, and the second is that the government did not inform you about it. Which is true out of these two?
I said I was not aware, and I'm still not aware. I have access to my parliamentary emails, and I have had no contact in that. As I say,
So could that be then? With great respect, then could that be true when the government of India says that they did inform you regarding the status of your visa? Could that be true then?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea.
On February 5th, UK's Labour MP Debbie Abrahams stood in front of a life-size Jinnah poster in the Pakistan High Commission and gave a sermon on what Pakistan branded Kashmir Solidarity Day. 12 days later, when she tried entering India on a cancelled visa, she was sent packing home. The UK MP has been deported by the Modi government. Soon after her deportation, she spoke to international media, giving a hint that her aim was to stoke tensions in the region. Debbie Abrahams chairs a parliamentary group on Kashmir and had written an anti-India letter post the abrogation of Article 370. She's a close confidant of Jeremy Corbyn, who is known for his attempts to intervene in the Kashmir issue. Lobby wants this pro-Pak, anti-India UK lawmaker in India. But the Modi government has sent out a loud message. No foreigner will be allowed to toy with India's sovereignty. Let's debate.
From London, we have Katie Hopkins. We have Jas Opal, who is a human rights activist. We have Sushil Pandit with me here in the studio. We have Majid Haidari, and we have the Member of Parliament and National Spokesperson of the BJP, GVL Narasimha Rao. Jas Opal, why would anyone expect you? We know this person. She's a Pakistani agent, quite clearly, right? She's very well known for her activity here. Now, if an Indian member of parliament goes to the UK, and UK has so many domestic problems, UK is a country that is breaking apart at the seams, and the UK has a lot of internal, terrorist movements.
Absolutely.
And if we go, right, and if our members of parliament start landing up in London and saying, we want to take part in your politics, and we want to interfere, and we want to support terrorist groups. What would the British do?
Well,
what would the British government, what was Boris Johnson's government do?
It isn't just the Modi government that has packed her off. Labour Party, her own party, packed her off from the front benches to the rear benches on May 2018.
Yes, she does
for
this.
Workplace bullying.
Yeah.
She has had an interesting past. And never
what was
a
her
word
intention?
on terror.
Why did she want to come to India? What is her real intention?
You see, because all this while she's been churning out reports under APPG without even visiting India. These have been manufactured for her by Pakistani counterparts.
Yeah.
And she's been merrily pushing them in the House of Commons.
Yeah, and she also lies openly. If you see, Katie, what do you know about this case? She actually accepts that she was informed about the status of the visa. She wants VVIP treatment. She boasts in an Indian airport that, don't you know, I am a member of Parliament of the United Kingdom. So what?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Go and
you know
throw your
what?
VVIP status in London, not in New Delhi. Catty.
Entitlement,
Katie Hopkins.
Raj.
It is typical of these
Entitlement.
sorts of women, of these leftist individuals who think they have the right to turn up in your sovereign country in India, and they think they have the right to walk on in without a visa. Clearly, she has been informed that her visa is no longer valid. Clearly, she's there to cause trouble in Kashmir. She's pushing the Pakistani agenda. And here in the UK, her voting base, her supporters are Muslim. So she is essentially trying to preach to her supporting base that she's on Pakistani side. Once again, Modi and the Indian government and your border force have done the right thing. I absolutely applaud them. And I think the more that you can keep individuals like her who have been pushed from the shadow cabinet to the back of the House of Commons because of bullying and other issues. She clearly thought she could bully her way into India, and that is not going to be the case for her. I'm glad that she's been sent packing.
No, they've
And
had
frankly,
easy access for a long time, and then they go to Kashmir, and you know their agendas out there. We have to block the whole lot of them so that people like Majid Haidari don't get any oxygen of support, right? GVL,
That's right.
how far are you willing to take this? I think your government has not been as tough as it should have. She should not even have thought of getting into this far. And I think by letting her off and just deporting her, when she has clearly violated the Indian rules, you should have jailed her. You should have jailed her. She should have been in an Indian jail for some time. She has violated the rules. She's saying she's not aware. She's trying to come in. There is a clear intention to create a law and order disturbance in the country.
I think... Arnab,
There's no Atiti Devo Bhava for people who support terrorists. Yes.
Indian hospitality is
Arnab, this is the due process that is followed. I think the due process has been followed in this case. Anyone who is entering India without a valid visa is sent back. I think this is the process that has been followed. And I'm really astonished that you have an all-party parliamentary forum on Kashmir. Why is this blatant interference in India's affairs. I think we will, as a member of parliament, I would consider this completely unacceptable that you have a foreign parliament having a committee on our Kashmir issue.
Why do you have a failed diplomacy on Kashmir?
They can sit in the UK. Listen, Majid, I think I think we're being too polite here, Sushil. They can sit in the UK.
Yes.
And I would say to the whole lot of them, Sushil, sit in the UK, go to Denmark, go to Greenland, go to Iceland, hang around there, do what you want, but don't you dare to come on my country's soil to pass judgment on what our rights are. Jazz Opal, you can do what you want, sit in your academic forums and do what you want. You cannot get access to India. It's not your right. Jazz Opal is on the debate for the contrary view. Jazz Opal, did this Debbie Abrahams or whatever her name is, had she lost her mind to try and break into India like this?
But the problem is that BJP has a failed diplomacy on Kashmir. BJP...
Majid, thanks very much, Majid. Come on. Jazz, yeah.
It's absolute nonsense.
Yeah, Jazz.
If she was a real
Jazz,
woman,
if you can hear me now, how did she ever think that she would be able to get into India to do anti-India activity? Would you allow someone to come into the UK to do anti-British activity? Would you allow a supporter of terrorists in your country to walk in and hang around like on a tourist visa?
We have let too many terrorists into our country as well. If there's one thing India can learn, it is to be not like the UK. Do not become like Britain. We welcome terrorists back into our country and look how they treat us. You are doing absolutely the right thing by defending your borders against somebody who has launched attacks on your great nation and against Modi. She's clearly siding with Pakistan on Kashmir and causing trouble. We know very well that Article 370 and the work Modi did there in Kashmir makes it life a whole lot better for females and for individuals living there. And she really is a traitor to not only females, but also to India. You did the right thing by stopping her coming in.
Jazz, if you can hear me, this individual is notorious. She's a lawbreaker. She supports indirectly the activities of terrorist groups. And she's also lied in her way about getting access to India. My question to you, if you can hear me, and if you can't, then I'll move on. Which country here, Sushil? I think she can't hear me. So I'll go back to Majid and
Sushil. I think what we have to think as well, just as a moment,
but she can do that in the UK.
She of the critics of India to
she
think
can do
they
that.
can
She can do that in her country's soil. Thank you very much, Janisha. I'm Majid versus Sushil right now. And my question is,
you know, her majority has dwindled from a 5-digit lead to barely 1,500 votes in the last election. She was on the verge of losing. She is trying to shore up her support base among the people of Pakistani origin in Britain. That is what she's out to do. Curry favor
show some Rashtravad,
Pakistani constituents who are rabidly disposed towards Kashmir. That is what she's trying to do.
Our fortune. You have today become a Firangi. Why this Firangi appeasement? These Firangis stole our economy, our wealth, our fortunes. Where is our Kohinoor diamond? Arnab Saab should have asked about the Kohinoor diamond first.
Ago. You've woken up too late. We are
Firangis?
discussing something else. We are discussing supporting terror from British soil. We are discussing supporting Pakistani terrorist agenda in India.
You tend to wear nationalism on your sleeves and you forgot that they stole our economy. They hang Bhagat Singh. Have you forgotten these people hang Bhagat Singh? These people are behind Jallianwala Bagh massacre. How do you nationalists forget it? How do you forget it?
Question is,
how did you forget Jallianwala Bagh?
Majid, just fall in line. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Do you understand simple English right now? You've been an irritant for a long time. And okay, you've been an irritant for a long time. Now you hear from Katie Hopkins out here. Question is, every country defends its interests. You want to go to Pakistan, you're happy to go there. We will be delighted to send you. I've offered you a 10,000 rupee ticket to Islamabad economy class and one way. Take it and go home.
Our ancestors
go home to
given
Pakistan.
Blood for this country.
No.
To drag these Firangis out of the nation. Our ancestors have fought for that.
You know, Jeremy Corbyn and all these fringe elements in the UK have already got a resounding defeat. It's only people like you who are hanging on to their coattails to go anywhere.
That's correct. That's correct. Jeremy Corbyn has just been beaten because
Majid?
people in the UK realise that we cannot support a terrorist supporting leader. We cannot have a terrorist running the UK. And it seems that Pakistani individuals seem to be always supportive of someone who stands with terrorists. That's why we got rid of Jeremy Corbyn. That's why this lady does not represent us.
Why should I go crazy? I'm talking about genuine cause.
We look forward very much to being closer with Modi, working more closely with Modi. And I know that you have Trump coming to visit you very soon. I think people who respect law and order, respect democracy, we stand with Modi. And actually in the UK, we are finding increasingly that it is our Pakistani contingent that are always causing issues for us in our own country. And this gentleman seems to be, a very good example of the sorts of troublemakers that we have in the UK and the sorts of Pakistani gentlemen that I have to kind of face down in the streets here.
I think on a serious note, Sushil, point is, Roman Abramovich, an investor who was believed to be a close aide of Putin, was denied extension of investor visa, right, by the UK. Right, a Canadian right-wing journalist, Lawrence Southern, UK radio show host Michael Savage, bloggers were denied entry to the UK for their criticism of
even Dutch MP, Geert Wilders, who was there on a proper invitation, was turned away from Heathrow.
Can you stop whining, Majid? Even a person who went on to become Prime Minister of Israel had been denied a visa in the 1950s by the United Kingdom. Menachem Begin.
Yes.
He went on to become Prime Minister of Israel. The UK said we cannot let him come in. He's a leader of various notorious terrorist groups. So when the United Kingdom has those rights... Listen to me, Majid, for God's sake! The United Kingdom defends its interests, and it has not for some time. And as Katie has told you rightly so, it has lost out because of it. But the problem with you is there are enough moles like you, anti-nationals like you on our soil, and people here who have no sense of loyalty to a country that gives them democratic liberty. You have to defend your democracy. You don't take it for granted.
This country, UK...
Debbie Abrams does not have national interest of India at heart. We do. You get it?
Arnab, UK has JKLF still operating from their soil. The organization which was proscribed in India. The organization that killed Ravindra Harishwar Mahatre in 1984, 6th of February. That terror organization has an office. It issues appeals during the elections to vote Labour. That organization still formally functions on British soil. First, this Lady Abrams should address this issue. How is British system allowing
It is about, and I ask you today, would the United Kingdom allow any terrorist operation supporting Northern Ireland to operate from London? Would it allow it to operate from Gloucester? Or from Birmingham? Or Leicester? Would it allow it? It would not. Do you understand that? Simple English, Majid. Fall in line, Majid. Everyone else. It's about the rule of law. I end the program where I start. Stop shouting, Majid. You are not only anti-national, you are very badly behaved. You are not only a complete anti-national, you are also an extremely badly behaved individual with no discretion on your language.
Sir, I am a true Rashtravadi.
Majid, you're embarrassed yourself and your quote-unquote ideology on TV tonight.
None of you has the courage to ask this question.
The shallowness of your repeated comments embarrasses me. Majid, ever since 370 was abrogated, I think you've lost your head. You've lost your relevance and you've lost your mind. I thank you very much for joining me. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 o'clock tomorrow I'll be back. Good night and goodbye.